Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
So what up, y'all? Of course, I'm Maserati Neesh, and this is the Neesh Speaks podcast, where I am giving you financial game so that you can obtain financial gains. It's all about the wins. And speaking of wins, I have a winner with me today.
Hey,
and she is not just my friend, but she is my sister friend, and none other than Diane Walker. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
Hey,
So we're going to get right into this.
Absolutely.
So it's very exciting for me not to just win and be a winner, but it's super exciting when your friends are too. So one of the things when I invited you on the podcast, you're like, we should do the podcast on a boat, okay? Give it up for your friends that got boats. Okay? I just want to do the podcast on a boat. Just give it up for your friends that got boats. So it's so exciting, even like to watch you growing as a businesswoman. And I know you juggle tons of things. And first and foremost, I think that you're a phenomenal woman, a phenomenal wife, a phenomenal mother, and to juggle so many different things. How do you do that? Because when I see you, I see balance.
Mm-mm.
I see balance. A lot of women that are in business, especially that have like husbands and children, they tend to forget about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the fact that you balance it well and you still nurture you and you pursue your dreams.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Mommy. Hey, same to you, because you know how I feel about you.
Yes.
So I love that. I love that you said balance, because we don't believe in balance.
Right.
My husband and I talk about that all the time. There's literally, in our opinion, when it comes to this lifestyle of balancing the entrepreneurship world, balancing family, and the husband and wife dynamic, you don't have a balance. You create system and principles. And just like when you preach with credit, it's systems and principles, it's diligence, it's consistency. That's what it's about. I don't know that it's necessarily a balance. You know, sometimes you use 10% of your credit. Sometimes you use 30% of your credit.
Right.
Sometimes you up to 50% of your credit, but you know to
Right.
bring it back down to 10 because that's the
Right.
best place to be.
Do you feel
Same
like
thing.
it sometimes it's different areas that gets more?
Absolutely, yeah,
really
especially when there is a need. I'll never forget when I first had to deal with that was when I had my daughter. So again, as you mentioned, my husband and I are entrepreneurs. We started our businesses very early on in our relationship. Matter of fact, we established business before we established our actual relationship.
We're going to talk about that next.
So that
She
right
said
there.
they established business first before they established the relationship.
Hello. So it was easy in that perspective to kind of know each other. And then came marriage, and then came a child. So even in the marriage world, it was fine. It was just him and I. So we were good. We figured it out. We had our principles. We had our structure. It worked out. But then when the daughter came, it was different. Now
More
there's another love.
More
Yeah.
responsibility.
And there was another dedication. And that's when I realized I seem to have this pattern of wanting to give my all in every area that I'm working. And I didn't want my daughter to suffer in that area. So that's when I had to take away from the business world a little bit. I had to, in a sense, give up the responsibilities that I had in the business world. My administrative roles with times in the daycare world, I was there like
So when
100%,
you gave
and I
up
gave
your
it up a
roles,
little bit.
Did you hire somebody to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't like giving it up. It was just giving up what I had to do. My business can't suffer because obviously that's how we live, right? The bread and butter. So what I realized is I want to be more with my daughter. So my husband picked up a lot of the slack, and we hired for the other areas that I really couldn't do. But that's when I noticed there is no such thing as balance. I had to take away a little bit to give a little more. And then the same when my son came. Now there's 2 lives, and I still got to be a wife, and I got to give him 100%.
Right.
And I still have to be a mother to 2 children,
Awesome.
and obviously nurture our businesses. So it is difficult. But there, ladies, no such thing as perfection and balance.
Right.
It's just so give that up. Just create the principles and the systems that will work well for you and your family. You know your needs.
Right. So one of the things that you just said prior to answering the question, you said that you guys had a business relationship first.
Yes.
A business relationship. Let's talk about that, because I feel like in our community, first of all, women, this is my own opinion, so I'm not putting my views on nobody, but women marry for stability, right? For me, that's not something that I need to marry for, because I'm already stable financially. But for you to go in with that mindset is very, I don't know, I applaud it because you already had your own set of goals and dreams and things that you wanted to do. So I think that that's definitely a discussion that we need to have because I want to make sure you are on the same page and that we can accomplish some things together versus me climbing and achieving all of my goals and doing different things and you really not having a vision or no direction.
Absolutely. That's something my husband and I talk about all the time. Love is not enough. A big booty is definitely not enough. A nice car is definitely not enough. Like, please kick it out. It's not enough. I need to know that you have purpose.
Right.
Have you found your purpose? I need to know you have vision. One of the first questions, the discussion my husband and I had prior to when we were kind of dating, flirting with each other. We knew each other. I mean, who didn't know me? Everyone knows me, right? But it's one of them things
Shout out to me, my big brother.
And well, Lord, you know the history he has with women. But I realized in conversation, and as we kind of started seriously flirting with each other, the conversations were about, I wanted to own blocks. And, he would ask those type of questions. It's like, well, what would you want to invest in first? And one of the first business moves we did, I invested with him in his business, in his car business. Remember, he was car business heavy in the auto body shop.
Yeah, the body. I patronized that a few times.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was something that, it was almost like he wanted to see if I was really serious about it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'll put my money where it is. What's up? Here's 10 grand. What we got to do with it? What we're going to do? And we strategically planned out what we were going to do with that. And what did it mean? And I also wanted to see how.
Here go 10 grand.
Let's do it.
Like, that's powerful.
No, I mean, it's
like, I see your vision, brother, but let me contribute something too.
What are you bringing to the table, Neesh? Oh my God, I hear it all the time. Women saying, there's no good men out there, etc. And I get that. Trust me. Right. I mean, my husband was not the first person I dated. Right? But what are you bringing to the table? Like, I understand women come off, well, I want to make sure he got good credit. And I want to make sure he got this, he got that. My husband didn't have good credit when I first was with him. My husband was street, you already know it, the street mentality, nothing but cash.
Yes.
And I remember saying to him, you know how much I can get you off this business alone? And I'm not a credit expert like you at all. But I grew up, my mom raised me on credit. 13 years old, I had my bank account.
Right.
I was already on 2 of her credit cards by the time I was 13. By the time I was 17, my first car loan with her on it. After that, I went on my own. So my mom did raise me on credit. And it wasn't that he wasn't exposed, but I think he was so wrapped up in how the streets did it that he would prefer all cash, no credit. So when I came to the table, I offered that. It was something that I was great at. It was his weakness. No worries. I got this. As long as he let his ego down and let me make sure we take care of that on my end. Right. And let me kind of contribute with that aspect, with the business and on a personal tip.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was important.
So how many different businesses do you guys operate in? I know one of them is you guys have been doing a Lovepreneur thing, which is super dope. You actually did a devotional book.
We did. We just came out with a devotional, Lovepreneur's Grow Rich devotional. It was important for me as we're talking about that. Okay, definitely. I appreciate that. Besides the businesses that we have, we're in real estate, childcare, auto body. We also do consulting and we also invest in other people's businesses.
Yes.
Other than that, what we realize is the dynamic, almost like Purple. I see Purple and Tommy, and it reminds me of a Lovepreneur. Sorry, I had to put you out there. I love Purple already.
Lovepreneur, look.
She reminds me of a Lovepreneur.
She assessing already.
Here's why. Here's what I loved about what just happened. Earlier, we were setting up. Purple was setting up. Tommy took his daughter and said, "Mommy's working now. Let's go." That is what a lovepreneur is all about. They work together, but he knew, all right, this is not my role now. My role now, let me take my daughter, do what I have to do, and let Purple do what she has to do. That's her role in the business.
Every time I sit down with you, I get gems, I swear. Because you help me dig deep. I be going in my own life. Like, Rhonesha, get out of your own way. Listen, every single time that I sit down with you, you give me relationship gems.
Amen.
Your perspective is so, amazing. I love it. I'm so glad we friends. But you caused me to look in the mirror and be like, you know what? Because just you sitting here dissecting that, like, yo, that's a lovepreneurship.
That's a lovepreneur. And Purple knows what she got to do. He's not going to have an ego. No, you're the woman. You take the daughter. And I got to do what I got to do in here. No, her role is her role. What she's good at, she's good at. Tommy gives her the space to do what she got to do. And vice versa. And as a lovepreneur, you're an entrepreneur, whether you, both people in the partnership, or if you're, seriously dating or whatever, you're in a marriage and one of you both are entrepreneurs, you have to know what your role is in it all, right? Because there's going to be a lot of clash if you want to be good at something that you're not good at. and don't want to let your ego down, your guard down, and let your partner be good at what they're good at to be able to increase the business, to be able to
increase.
Profitable. I mean, what's the point of being in business if all you're going to do is argue and not focus on the bottom line, the profit, right? So you want to make sure that your roles in the relationship as well as the business is intact.
So this Lovepreneur,
so that's what Lovepreneur is all about.
So business, not
absolutely,
war.
It's not war. We're not arguing back and forth every 2 seconds. Like, let's get the bottom line. Let's get our profits up.
Question: do you think that an entrepreneur, whether if it's a man or a woman, do you think that they can be with somebody who does not desire entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. I think, again, about principles and systems. If it works. Now, personally, I need someone to understand that I am very driven. And that there's going to be times that I'm not going to sleep till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Can you talk? Wait a minute. Say that again. You need to say that.
I need you to understand that I'm driven. I'm disciplined. If I'm focused, if I have to send 10 emails, I'm sending those 10 emails today. You got to wait a minute. I don't love you any less.
Right.
I just need to. I'm so driven in my business.
Purple
I need
broke
you
me
to
the bell.
understand.
We got to ding that.
Wait, but vice versa too, Neesh.
Yes.
Vice versa.
Yes.
You know, a lot of women, they get so caught up, oh, he don't love me, he just loves his business, etc. I mean, he's driven. And if you don't get indulged in what he loves to do,
right,
you are definitely going to be
I have so many brothers, right? And a lot of the feedback that I get from them in reference to like their relationships is they feel that the women don't support their dreams, right? But I will say this, it's very hard for somebody who is not an entrepreneur to understand that journey. Like, you will not be able to connect with me if you're not walking in it, because you won't understand why I have to sacrifice this or that, or why I can't go to the cookout today because I have to do this, or why I'm up every single night with my eyes burning because I have to get things done. Not just for me, but for my family, not just for my immediate family, but after that. Changing the culture and the dynamics for our future overall. And that's going to take a lot from you as an individual, a lot of discipline, like you said, compromising, sacrificing, all of that is included. You can't cheat the grind.
Here's the deal, and I tell this to couples all the time because we get that often as well. You have to be in a sacrificing business to be in a relationship like this.
Right.
If sacrifice don't come easy to you and you are an entrepreneur, if your partner doesn't know how to sacrifice, chances are you're going to keep bumping heads. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you know what sacrificing is. Especially if you're a successful entrepreneur. Because I think we're throwing that entrepreneur word everywhere. Nowadays, like, everybody's an entrepreneur. Yeah, all right. You selling Girl Scout cookies. You're an entrepreneur now. But, you know, it is the spirit of entrepreneurship. So we don't want to downplay that. But you have to have a partner that understands that journey with you. And if they can't sacrifice as easily as you do, chances are you're going to be bumping heads. They're not going to understand what you're sacrificing for. Because sacrifice isn't easy for them.
That's a great point. Where can we find you on social media?
Absolutely. At Diane. I'm at Diane everywhere. Very consistent with it. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. At Diane. We'll put it up because I know my name is crazy. So we'll tag it everywhere. But yep, at Diane.
Okay. And let's get into the book.
Devotional. We're so proud of this. And the reason why is because, you know, for years we've always done almost like a Black Card invite only. You know, we have our very close niche group that we do a lot of just events with. We're very careful with who we allow in our circle. Because at the end of the day... You know, I'm just learning that. I just learned that in the last 2 years. How I could, and I'm 40 now. Just turned 40. Hey, Neesh, I've just turned 40. It is so important to protect your space. I do not give everybody access to me anymore. Spirits are real.
You will get my assistant. She will take the call and she will relay it to me. And if I choose to call you back, I will. Because that's how much I am focused on protecting my space and my energy, because it took a long journey to get here, long road. And I don't want to compromise that part of me, that peace that I've obtained. I'm not giving that up.
I mean, that's just not for friends. That's family too.
Yes, that's family too. That's family too. So
we're always been like that. But now with this quarantine, you know, we decided to put it out there, create this Lovepreneur, and just put it out there for people to create this support system for each other when it comes to the entrepreneurship journey. We understand that, especially during this quarantine. We had couples that literally like, I'm stuck with you, instead of focusing on their purpose and dreams and goals. So we created a mentorship program. We also created members only.
The mentorship program, is it for couples, or the mentorship program is...
It's for couples. So a lot of the stuff is for couples. Now here's the deal. The devotional in our merchandise is not for couples. The devotional will prep you so that you can be
Michelle was
a
saying
lovepreneur.
you don't necessarily have to be in a relationship. She said it's good for women that are single because it prepares you.
Get
So
to know, yeah, you have to get
Make
to
sure
know.
y'all get that book. Get the book. Get the
Lovepreneurs
book.
grow rich. Learn how to grow rich with your partner. If you don't have a partner yet, learn how to become the partner that that person needs, not the partner that you want to be.
Right. Awesome. All right. So you mentioned that when you and my brother Demetrius first connected, you guys went into a business deal before an actual relationship.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned that he shared his vision with you, and you guys were trying to figure out how could you assist each other in this business venture. Like, what can I bring to the table? What can you bring to the table? And you said, I was like, here go 10,000.
I'll never forget. So I was still in corporate America. You know, my husband, as I mentioned earlier, he graduated from the hard knock life of streets, right?
Yes.
Where I decided to go to Temple, graduate, do the right thing as we were all taught, go to school, because it's not the right thing. It's not the right thing.
Yo, every time I hear a parent forcing their children to go to college, I cringe.
Yeah, it's like
it makes me really cringe.
You know what makes me cringe even more? That my mom was an entrepreneur.
Really?
And it's one of those things where it's like, our story is definitely crazy, and I always applaud you for always speaking your truth when it comes to how you raised Dupree and, you and him. And I was raised the same way. It was just my mom and I, single parent. And my biological father, abusive. I was born in Miami. We were there for like the first 5-6 years of my life, and my mom just had to like run off, and I understood it, and I applaud her for it. Like, this is not the environment I want to raise my daughter, right? So as we came up here, and as a single parent, she opened up her own boutique, and this is why we talked about credit a lot and all that. So it was installed in her, and I've seen it.
Credit to start.
Absolutely, yes, she did. Especially being a Latina. It was very difficult around the times to get a loan. So what she would do, like the black market loan, when they lend you a couple money and then they'll come collect it every week. Yeah, that was her kind of loan. It wasn't the bank originally. And then eventually, she moved up to being able, she developed a really good relationship with PNC Bank. And that's who I developed a relationship with because of her, through PNC Bank. And
those banking relationships is
absolutely, and I have it to this day. They're the same ones that fund my first car, that fund my credit, my school education.
I had on speed dial. I'm
Absolutely.
like, yo, I need a line of credit. I need 50,000 real quick.
They already know it. Walker, to this day, Walker's on the line. Can you pull him to the side, please? Like, it literally. But yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how a parent, though, because of my mom's relationship that she had thought maybe was minute, allowed me and now my children and my husband to have a beautiful relationship with PNC. So even a plug there too with the parents. I mean, I know we're young and our kids may be young. To some of those that are listening, start developing that relationship now. You may not see the benefit, but your children, your children's children will definitely.
He has a checking and saving account. He's 10, and he has a debit card that is actually a Visa logo, so it's a credit card, so he can use his card. And me bringing him in at 10 is, introducing him into that relationship. Yep. I tell people over and over and over again, like, my friends are billionaires. They're the banks. My friends are Citizens. My friends Key Bank, PNC. My friends are TrueMark.
OPM.
And you need those.
Absolutely.
You need those relationships.
Absolutely.
Very, very, very important. I'm glad you said that.
So in saying that, went to college. I was working in corporate America. Demetrius and I met. We started dating, right? So he's an entrepreneur. I'm going to corporate America. I'm a consultant, and I'm waking up 6:30, getting dressed every day. He's chilling. He don't got to go out the day. He's working from home, or he's got to make a stop and come back. But you making more money than me at the end of the week.
You're doing more chilling, but you're making more now.
Wait, what is going on here? And I gotta go, and I'm miserable going to work because I've always had the entrepreneur spirit, but I never had someone to say, "Come on, like get it out. It's okay." My mom got so hurt throughout the entire process. It's hard, which is why I applaud you being a single mom trying to figure it out, and you got multiple businesses. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I understand possibly why she got just shut down by it all. So it wasn't encouraged with me. Right. But then came Demetrius, and he would have the conversation.
America, did you have those moments like
crying?
I gotta get out of here.
Crying. I would never. I mean, from a few times, but I'll never forget the day. Beautiful story. I'll never forget the day. So Demetrius and I talking about doing a daycare. At this point, we want to do a daycare. And I go across the street, PNC, because from my corporate office, PNC is across the street. PNC says, "Oh yeah, SBA loan, no problem. You want to do a daycare, cool, no problem. Send me over, the business plan, good to go." Did all that, waiting for it though. Corporate America, the lady calls me in the office saying they want to lay off. This is 2008, so you already know what's going down.
Wow.
They want to unemployment, whatever. We got to lay you off, etc. And I'm crying because at this point it's like, I just gave Meet 10,000 not too long ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're trying to do this card thing, right? I haven't heard from SBA yet, but hopefully we can do something there. And I'm losing my job, unemployment. What is $200 and something going to do for me every week or whatever it was? Yes. I cried in the hallway. Never forget. This is on Chestnut Street, 1538 Chestnut. I cried. My phone rings. PNC across the street.
Come on, somebody.
Telling me, and I'm in tears, telling me to come across the street because I need to sign on the document.
Come on.
I called the Neesh. I'm like, you will never, ever.
I got laid off and we got the loan
at the same damn time.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that right there was just an aha moment. God got you.
Yes.
Like, it's okay. And mind you, I'm
That
taking
risk
after risk. I'm literally just putting myself out there because I know how uncomfortable I was in corporate America.
But I tell people, every move you make and risk you take, God will match it.
I'm telling you.
It's going to be greater than what you took, the faith that you put into it.
I'm telling you.
God is going to quadruple that.
And I'll never forget, even in the midst of that, because we're hard believers on tithing. Like, we literally consistent, diligently tithe. And I'll never forget off my unemployment, trying to start the daycare, already doing the car business, and we have 2 properties right now. This is all going on. I'm like pulling my hairs right now. Right. But Demetrius, cool. He a cool entrepreneur. He don't show no. This is nothing. We good. I'm like, what we gonna do? And I'm tithing off that unemployment. Wow. There was just no second guessing. What am I gonna do with this money right now? Literally figured it out. And to this day, we have. I'm talking about that was 2008 chaos. We still started our daycare in 2009. No issues, no problem. But everybody else, all types of buildings, lease for lease. Remember, everything was just boarded up. It was almost as bad as it is like now, right? And no, we still made it through.
So where did y'all go from there?
So
the auto shop?
We were down in Germantown. We did the daycare. So finally opened up the daycare in 2009. That was like up and running, functional, where we were good at 2010. So that took about 1.5 years to be great. Until this day, it's still open.
So it took 1.5 years for you to get it to the level that you wanted it.
Full capacity.
Okay.
At full capacity.
I don't think people understand that too.
Yeah.
When they go into the daycare business, everybody's like, I'm getting a daycare.
Yeah.
But you need to have some capital. This is why those business lines of credit and the credit cards, all the business credit is important because it's going to sustain you.
Absolutely.
Because you may not reach full capacity for 2 years. What you going to do?
Especially around that time.
And everything. You're overhead.
All day long. Absolutely. Right. Especially in the daycare industry where your money depends on the kids that are coming in. It's not like you can promote online. People can purchase through you through PayPal. Right. No, it's who's physically in that building. Right. So, and that has been, by the grace of God, it has just been consistent. As far as the properties, we invested in, we had Section 8 properties.
And y'all building now.
Now we're in new construction.
New construction.
But Neesh, can I tell you, and I don't know if you remember earlier, 2 times. In the beginning, remember I spoke to you about him and I would have conversations that I want to own blocks. And I always thought of Master P for that, but I want to own blocks. Not to think that we will be doing new construction now. And again, going back to the business credit, we have, especially now what's going on now with the SBA, as far as like all these business loans, and it's not on our personal. Right. Our personal, spotless, we good, right? So everything is.
All of you who don't know what new construction is, they're literally buying land and building new homes on that land, and then they're selling the land. Selling the homes.
Selling the properties, absolutely. Some of them we also keep as well.
Oh, y'all keep some?
Oh, yeah, we keep some. Yeah, we want our portfolio to be nice for our kids. So we definitely need to diverse your portfolio. Awesome. So we do have some we keep. We have some Section 8, and then we also sell off. But recently, although, but this is an accomplishment that we're proud of. This is a personal accomplishment for us. We were going to buy an island to build on.
So I saw that.
Yeah, so we lost the bid though. So I mean, it's
really
an accomplishment.
He was like, we were thinking of our next investment, and my wife was like, they have an island for sale. Let's get the island. The fact that you was pushing him.
Absolutely. We have to jump. I'm so used to jumping with him from the very beginning that when we're like a little still, it's uncomfortable. It's like, are we taking risks right now? I understand that there's a lot going on right now, especially with what's going on with COVID-19 and all that. But this is a time that we need to take all the risks. Like, I'm all in. My chips are all in. Let's do it or not. I mean, what are we going to lose?
My chips are all in.
All in. So we definitely want to be smart about it. So the island went up. We lost it by $12,000.
No.
So because our max was $700. I know, right? Somebody else brought that island for it. No, but no, they don't let us know who brought it. I know, but there's some other ones for sale.
Where
so
was the island?
In Fort Myers. Yeah, which is not that far from my mom.
So y'all could have gone to resort, casino, whatever.
That's the goal. That's the goal. I mean, and that's something that takes a few years, but it's definitely. Listen, ladies, if you don't push your man
in the casino,
hello,
and resort.
You have to push your man. If you're not his biggest cheerleader and pushing him to be bigger and better, he's gonna be stagnant, and you don't want that. That's not what Lovepreneur is all about. Lovepreneur is about pushing, and vice versa too. To the men out there, you may not be the entrepreneur, but your partner is. You have to figure out how to push her to her limit.
Do you think men can jump in, though? Because what I'm seeing, because I'm technically still single, what I'm seeing is a lot of successful women, my girlfriends, like bossing up.
I love it.
And then they're single, so technically they're dating. But some men are very uncomfortable with powerful women.
See, I have a different take on it.
You do?
Yes, I do, Neesh. This I do. All right. Here's why. Here's the deal. We are lioness, right? I'm talking about the strong, independent. We'll figure it out. I don't need no one. That's how I was raised. I get it.
Okay.
Right?
But I don't want to be that.
But here's the deal. You got to be a lamb at times. You don't got to roar all day long.
Come on,
don't. No man. Listen, the man is going to love you, and it's sexy that you know how to roar. But you don't gotta roar all day long. Bring the lamb out.
So
it's okay.
What is that? Bringing down your roar and bringing out the lamb.
Right. Understanding that you don't always have to be in charge. You don't always have to be fixing something. You don't always have to be the one with the last word. Yeah, I mean, you're not always on the clock. Like, calm down. It's okay.
Talk right now.
Yeah, like relax. Really relax. Right. It's okay. I understand that you could have probably done that better. Let them do it. Let them figure it out. See, because here's the deal. How long have you been married for? 10 years. 10 years as well. We both have 10 years in. Here's my thing.
10 years.
I refuse. Purple, hear this though. I refuse to be the one with the banged up knees and you with the cute shoes because I thought I can do it all. I'm not doing that. This is not why I got married. I would have stayed single.
Right.
I am not going to be the one looking 80 and you still 60. You still on the dance floor and I got a cane. I'm not doing that.
Well, that was my grandma's story.
Yeah, no, that's my grandma's story now.
She took care of everybody.
Yes.
The husband came first, the children.
Yep.
And she died.
Yeah.
My grandfather's still
chilling. He probably remarried and all that. Right. No, we're not doing that.
Right.
And I understand that I can, but I didn't marry for that.
Right.
I didn't marry to do everything. So you have to figure out a medium. It may not be 100% balanced, but principles and systems so that you are also taking the bulk. So I'm not busting my butt. I need to stay sexy for my man. My man is a very sexy, good-looking man. I need to match that, okay? I need to match his hustle. I need to match his looks. So I can't just be doing it all.
Balance, what else?
Principles and systems. But you got to create them. The Lovepreneur Devotional helps you with that. If you have no idea, how do I create this system? How do I create this principles? How am I the strong woman? But how do I lamb it down
and make how y'all bought the book.
I love it. Love it. Thank you.
I'm going to do it right today. So
you got to go through that devotional because here's the deal. You can't be reviewing your credit and not pull the credit score. You can't go line for line highlighting and see what you're going to do. Right. Okay, do I pay this off? Talk to Neesh. If I pay this off, what happens there? That's planning. That's principles. That's putting a system in place. You got to do the same thing in your relationship. And this is not, after 10 years, we still practice this devotional. We still go back because our roles change. My roles have changed about 4 or 5 times now. And so has his. And now with this menopause, roles about to change again. You know? It got to change. So you have to sit down line for line and review your relationship. And the devotional helps you do that.
I love it. So that was money talk. Because we said we're the boss.
Thank you,
so thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Once again, I need y'all to go and get the book. We're also going to put the link under this YouTube video so that you can purchase the book, so that you can also follow my sis on her Instagram page and all of her other platforms. Good having you. I appreciate you.
Of course, mommy.
So once again, you're tuned into the Neesh Speaks podcast. I am Maserati Neesh, and we are bringing you financial gains so that you can obtain financial gains. Loving on y'all. 1.